The story begins with three childhood best friends, Abby, Lou, and Sarah, who reunite on a camping trip after being apart for several years. Back then, the three of them were really close, inseparable. But as time passed, things changed. Abby and Lou, especially, grew distant after an incident in college. Abby's boyfriend cheated on her with Lou, her own best friend. Lou had apologized many times over the years, but Abby still couldn't forgive her. The wound still felt too deep. Now, years later, Sarah secretly comes up with a plan to bring them back together. She invites Abby and Lou on a camping trip without telling each of them that the other would be there. Sarah says they'll spend time together like they did when they were teenagers. The place they choose is Black Rock Island, a remote spot they used to visit often as kids. It's full of old memories, and Sarah hopes the atmosphere of the island can help heal the rift between Abby and Lou. As soon as Abby and Lou meet, the tension is obvious. They haven't spoken in years. Things between them are still really awkward, and this trip feels more forced than like a fun reunion. But Sarah, staying optimistic, tries to push them to fix things. Everything takes an unexpected turn when Sarah suddenly reveals that she has cancer and doesn't have much time left. The news hits Abby and Lou hard. Sarah says all she wants is for the three of them to spend time together like they used to before it's too late. Abby and Lou still seem hesitant, but they're touched by Sarah's words, and eventually they agree to go on the trip. But just as they're about to leave, Sarah admits the cancer story was a lie. She made it all up just to get them together. She wants them to reconnect and go on one last trip as friends. Even though Abby and Lou are upset about Sarah's lie, they still decide to go. They realize this might be a chance to heal the old wounds that have been holding them back.
Yay! Let's go camping. Beginnings.
They finally set off by boat to Black Rock Island. Each of them is lost in their own thoughts, wondering if this trip can really help rebuild their broken friendship. The island isn't too far and holds a lot of sentimental value for the three of them. As soon as they arrive and step onto the familiar shore of Black Rock, Lou immediately checks her phone, but there's no signal. Abby, still in a bad mood, suddenly vents her frustration. She still can't forget the pain Lou caused, and this trip doesn't feel enjoyable at all like Sarah hoped. Trying to lighten the mood, Sarah announces that she has a surprise for Abby and Lou. She asks them to close their eyes, then gives each of them a map and a compass. The maps are drawings Sarah made when they were teenagers. Back then, the three of them had hidden a treasure box on the island, like a time capsule they thought they could come back to someday. Abby, unimpressed, just laughs at the map, saying it's childish. But Lou is actually interested in the idea and wants to find the box. She convinces Abby to join them. As they walk deeper into the island, old memories start surfacing, and an argument breaks out between Abby and Lou. Their fight revolves around Abby's ex-boyfriend, who cheated on her with Lou. Lou admits her mistake and apologizes over and over, but Abby's bitterness runs too deep. Lou then reminds Abby that the guy was actually a jerk, and maybe Abby is better off without him. But Abby, still angry, refuses to forgive that easily. The tension escalates, and Sarah tries to calm them down. Eventually, Abby storms off, leaving them behind. They realize they won't find the treasure that day. They decide to set up a tent on the beach and plan to stay the night.
I'm sorry.
Later, Sarah talks to Lou, urging her to try apologizing to Abby again. She doesn't want the trip to end in disaster. Lou, feeling frustrated, agrees to try one more time. She knows Abby hasn't let go of the past, but she's determined to fix things. With a heavy heart, Lou approaches Abby to try and make things right. But before she can even say anything, they're startled by something unsettling. The sound of footsteps in the forest catches their attention. Three men emerge from the trees, each carrying a weapon. But don't worry yet. They don't mean any harm to the girls. The men are Henry, Derek, and Alex, and they've come to the island to hunt. Henry tries to ease the tension by apologizing and asking what they're doing there. Lou explains that they're just camping. That's when she realizes she recognizes Henry. It turns out Henry used to be in the same class as her sibling back in college. Henry remembers too, and Abby invites them to join their campfire. That night, they all gather around the campfire. Henry says that he and Derek used to be soldiers, but they were both dishonorably discharged. The mood starts to shift when Abby, who's getting drunk, begins flirting with Henry. Her behavior makes everyone else uncomfortable.
Anyways, your beer's cute.
Sarah, worried about Abby's behavior, tries to remind her. She says Abby is already married and should control herself, but Abby ignores her and insists she's not doing anything wrong.
Nothing.
I'm just trying. What does that even mean?
What is so good?
It's
So much fun.
I'm glad.
A while later, Abby sneaks off, saying she needs to go to the bathroom in the woods. But it turns out she calls Henry over and signals for him to follow her. Sarah and Lou feel uneasy about it, but they choose to stay quiet. Later, Abby realizes she's made a big mistake. She starts to feel trapped and uncomfortable with the situation. Things spiral out of control when Henry starts getting too aggressive. Panicking, Abby tries to defend herself and hits Henry in the head with a rock. Everyone who hears the commotion rushes over. But it's already too late. Henry is badly injured and ends up dying. Derek, seeing what happened, immediately loses his temper and pulls out his weapon. He wants to kill the girls in revenge for Henry's death. Alex tries to stop and restrain him, but Derek is consumed by rage. The girls try to run, but Derek and Alex quickly catch and take them down. The next morning, when Abby, Lou, and Sarah wake up, they're already tied up and unable to move. Alex and Derek are still arguing intensely. Derek insists the girls have to be killed, while Alex disagrees and reminds him that they're just innocent young women. But Derek, blinded by revenge, doesn't care at all. Derek says they killed Henry, so there's no mercy. He won't let them leave alive. Then, he walks toward Abby to start. Sarah desperately tries to explain that what happened last night was purely an accident and that Abby was just defending herself. But Derek has lost his mind. Nothing can stop him now. Abby then looks at Derek and says how cowardly he is for tying up and killing defenseless women, asking if he can still call himself a man after that. Her words only make Derek angrier, and Abby challenges him to face her. Taking advantage of the moment when Derek and Alex are focused on Abby, Lou, and Sarah, manage to free their hands and create chaos. In the middle of it, the three of them run into the forest and decide to split up to reduce the chances of getting caught. Derek and Alex immediately chase after them, shouting threats that they won't be able to hide. Derek yells that he'll find them and kill them one by one. While running on her own, Abby remembers the old map Sarah gave her yesterday. By following the directions on the map, she manages to find a small shelter they built when they were kids. Not long after, Lou and Sarah arrive at the same place. The three of them immediately hug in relief, seeing each other still alive. Abby cries and apologizes, feeling like she's ruined everything. She says a life has already been lost because of her. But Lou and Sarah try to convince her it's not her fault. She just did what she had to do to survive. Now they have to leave as soon as possible because Derek definitely won't let them get away. Abby says the only way is to reach the boat. But they have to wait until nightfall and use the darkness to sneak in. Still, the plan isn't great because Derek and Alex have probably already guessed they'll try to escape by boat and most likely they'll be guarding it. When night comes, the three of them manage to reach the shore. But when they get there, they see the boat is pretty far from the beach. Sarah says there's no way they can swim to it because the water is too cold they could freeze to death. But Abby insists there's no other choice. Sarah says she won't last long in water that cold. But if Abby is going, they have to go together. The three of them start struggling toward the boat, and just as they feared, Alex and Derek spot them. Sarah panics and stands up, and in that moment, a bullet hits her in the head, killing her instantly. Lou and Abby are completely shocked. Before they can even process what just happened, more gunshots are fired at them. Desperate to survive, they immediately dive deeper into the freezing water. Derek keeps chasing them relentlessly while firing shots in their direction. Lou and Abby struggle to reach the boat, but it's too far and the water is freezing cold. They realize they won't make it. Once they feel like they've escaped Derek, they decide to swim back to the shore. After that, they hide in the forest, a place that's fairly safe. Their bodies are shaking from the cold, so they take off their wet clothes to warm up and hold each other tightly. While holding each other like that, they cry and mourn Sarah's death. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Alex, who's still trying to catch them, falls off a cliff and breaks his leg. Derek is forced to take care of him and can't continue the chase for a while.
It's not that bad. We'll take care.
That incident gives Lou and Abby a chance to get farther away, but their bodies are too exhausted they can't make it somewhere truly safe. They're covered in wounds and bruises and Lou is still deeply shaken by losing their friend. Abby tries to comfort her and reminds her that they need to get off the island to survive. Still overwhelmed with guilt, Lou suddenly apologizes to Abby again. She says she still feels ashamed of what she did back then, but this time Abby responds differently. She reassures Lou that there's no one left to blame. She admits that all this time it was easier for her to blame Lou than to face the problems in her own relationship. Abby then reveals that she already left her husband but never told Sarah. Lou is moved by this confession and they hug again. They realize Derek and Alex have weapons, and if they want to survive, they need weapons too. That's when Abby remembers the old map they found yesterday. The map they drew as kids leads to the place where they buried the box together. They quickly start digging, hoping the box contains something useful. The time capsule they find mostly contains childhood toys, but Abby finds a small cutter inside. Even though it's small, at least it can be used. They then spend the whole night making simple weapons out of wood.
Admit that maybe I admit.
The next morning, Abby and Lou go looking for Derek and Alex. They spot the boat by the shore, and Alex lying there alone. Derek is nowhere to be seen. The only way to escape is to kill Alex and take the boat. Abby decides they need to act fast. As she sneaks closer to Alex, he suddenly wakes up and starts shouting. Abby tries to kill Alex, but he fights back fiercely. In the middle of their fight, Derek suddenly shows up and immediately starts shooting at them. Lou tries to help by distracting Derek. In the chaos, Abby manages to grab Alex's rifle and shoots him right away. Alex dies instantly. Abby then aims at Derek but misses. Derek runs off and chases Lou into the forest. Abby quickly follows from behind to help Lou. Lou manages to reach an open area, but Derek is right behind her. He raises his gun, ready to shoot Lou, but Abby stops him from behind. Out of bullets, Derek pulls out a knife and tries to attack them. In the intense fight, Lou gets hit by a rock and is badly injured. In the end, the two exhausted and injured women manage to kill Derek and reach the boat. They quickly escape, leaving the island behind. Sarah, their friend, is left there forever. But they survive, and they're finally free.